mining is not the most exciting or interesting thing you can do in this game, but it is a way of potentially gaining a significant amount of credits for doing not a whole hell of a lot, at least certainly nothing that puts you at any great risk for the vast majority of the time. So if you want to make easy money, then it is certainly viable then. You need to be in the right frame of mind, and you really need to choose what you're going to actually mine for rather carefully. Otherwise, you will be, well, you're going to get bored shitless, if you get it wrong. So let's start then with what do you need. And when it comes to mining, there's only one thing that you absolutely must have on your ship, and then there's a whole slew of optional stuff which would be beneficial, but yeah, it's not essential. So my mining ship is here, the Beverly Hills Oumuamua. This is a Type 10, and we'll start off with the optional internals. Obviously, you're going to need cargo capacity. You need somewhere to store whatever it is you are mining for. The other thing that you absolutely must have is the refinery. You've got to have one of those. Without them, no mining. Refineries are available in classes 1 to 4 and ratings of A to E. So there's quite a few different ones to choose from. The 4A, which is the absolute top shot that I've got here, it costs around 4 to 5 million. So it's not that expensive. You know, you can map a couple of planets in a couple of systems, and boss, you got 4 million to do that. So yeah, getting the 4A refinery, not really that big a deal. And that is almost it for the essentials. But then you get the optional that really do help out. Firstly is a Prospector limpet controller. Using Prospectors makes things a hell of a lot easier as far as determining what it is you're mining. They also increase the amount of like fragments and that you'll get from each asteroid, we'll say, even though you're not actually mining asteroids. And yeah, so they are more than valuable. The other thing is collector limpets. Now, I've said in numerous videos that when it comes to collecting stuff in space, whether it's materials or cargo canisters, you really don't need collector limpet controllers. And I keep saying, don't fucking waste your time getting the things. But when it comes to mining, because you are mining so many fragments, collector limpets then do become not just useful, they're close to essential. So you don't have to have them, but yeah, if you haven't been mining before, I think you'll soon see why I consider them rather handy. So I've got two collector limpet controllers, a class 5A and a class 3A, which gives me 5 collector limpets that I can have operating at any one time. That's it as far as mining specific optional internals. I obviously got shield generators, fuel scoops, 4A fuel scoop on a Type 10. Yeah, that's fun. Yeah, so, oh yes, a detailed surface scanner. Yeah, they can be pretty handy as well. I'll explain why when we actually leave and actually begin our hunt for something to actually mine. Now, the next thing that is an optional is this thing, the pulse wave analyzer. But I'll tell you now, as of this moment, the pulse wave analyzer is currently bugged. I know, hard to believe, isn't it, from something in Elite Dangerous. But yeah, they're not working properly, and I'll demonstrate why when we actually begin mining. But they are worth consideration, and the fact that it only takes up a utility mount means it's not, not a big deal. So you may as well grab one if you're going to have a dedicated mining ship. And then finally, in your hardpoints, you will definitely need at least one of the following. So you can use a mining laser, seismic charge launcher, and believe it or not, you can actually get away with just mining with a seismic charge launcher. It's not a particularly good idea though, for reasons I'll explain once we begin mining. Then we have subsurface displacement missiles. Now I have two of these, but handy, and abrasion blaster. Now, so this is 4 different mining weapons, we'll say, for lack of a better word. You don't have to have all of them, and you can mine just taking any one of these things. It's not a particularly good idea. If you're going to take a seismic charge launcher, you're only going to use those if you're going to be mining for core materials or core fragments. If you do take one of those, it is highly advisable that you also take an abrasion blaster, because otherwise, if you you find an asteroid that you can use the seismic charge launcher on, once you've used it, quite a few additional fragments of the whatever it is that you are mining are still going to be stuck and unable to be collected. Now, if you had an abrasion blaster, you would be able to sort that out. If you just take the seismic charge launcher, you can't. So you just have to take whatever has been blasted clear and leave the rest behind. It's not a great idea. Subsurface displacement missiles, you can mine with just these. You don't need to, you don't need anything else. They don't work in conjunction with anything else. And then finally, the mining laser, again, you can mine with just that. And indeed, up until, I forget what update it was, when they brought in all these three. For a long time anyway, this was the only thing you could use. So yes, you have a choice of various mining equipment there. Okay, so that's what you need, but where do you go? Well, we are currently in a Hipparcos system 16607, and I didn't mean to go there. I want this, and you are basically mining the ring systems around gas giants. You can mine from asteroid clusters, but it's really not a very good idea because you don't get very many asteroids in each cluster. And the one time I tried it, which admittedly was fucking years ago, I didn't find anything in any of the asteroids anyway. So yeah, it was a complete waste of time. But you go to ring systems around gas giants, and yeah, that's really where you want to be looking. Ideally, you want to go to ring systems that have pristine reserves. You only need to check one planet in a system. The reserve level that is given on that one planet will be the same for all of them. So in this case, we know that Planet 1 has pristine reserves, and therefore all the rest will as well. There's also 4 different types of ring system. So you have metallic and rocky. This particular gas giant has 2 ring systems. It's not that common really, even rarer, but they are out there. You can have planets with 3 ring systems. Anyway, so yeah, metallic and rocky. This one is rocky, rocky and metal rich. So yeah, rocky, metallic, metal rich, 3 of them. The 4th, which isn't in this system, is icy. Now, each ring type will yield different commodities and that you can mine from them. Now, if you look on the Elite Dangerous forums, you would be forgiven for thinking that there are only 2 things, or now maybe 3 things, that anyone will mine, and they are low temperature diamonds, void opals, and tritium. That's it. Okay? Fucking bollocks. Right? They are 3 things that you can mine, but there is a whole plethora of stuff that you can actually, mine as well as those. Void opals are probably the most valuable thing you can get from mining. Low temperature diamonds used to be extremely valuable, but their value has really nosedived of late, and they're now a lot rarer. It's a toss-up between void opals and low temperature diamonds as to which is the rarest of the 2. And then tritium, depending on where you go, tritium will either be fairly well available but in very small quantities, or it'll be absolutely fucking everywhere. And the one thing that they all have in common is they are all found in icy rings. Actually, if we come out of here, we'll go into carrier management, so I can bring up commodity trading. We can go through everything that you can mine. Hydrogen peroxide you can mine. You'll find those in icy rings. If you look at the galactic average, not great. Liquid oxygen, apparently you can mine that from icy rings, but I don't remember finding it very often. Even if you do, look at the value, it's not worth it. That is everything from, oh yeah, right, okay, tritium there. Now, if you've got a fleet carrier, yes, of course you want to mine it for obvious reasons. This is your fuel. If you haven't got a fleet carrier, it's still, worth going after, because a lot of fleet carriers will pay well over the odds. If they're not paying well over the odds, i.e. like my one, then it's not worth bothering going to them, when plenty of docking stations will pay you at least 42,000 per tonne. I pay, far less than that. I pay 23,858. I'm not that fussed about buying it in, so I set my price low. If people want to sell it to me, fine, but not a big deal. Right, let's on to the next one. I think industrial materials. I think there are some here. No, there aren't. Well, there is some stuff that I thought was here, and it seems to have gone. Okay, maybe it's just been moved. Right, so into the metals. Just about every metal here you can mine from metallic or metal rich rings. So it'll be quicker if I go through ones you can't get from mining. Aluminium is one, beryllium is another, bismuth is another. Don't remember copper being in any of them, or gallium. Okay, maybe I should go through. Yes, okay, what you can mine. You can find cobalt, 755. You can mine gold, Hafnium I've never seen. Yeah, that's a controlled substance, so probably not. Indium, yes, but I don't remember ever seeing any. Lanthanum, no. Lithium, no. Osmium, yes. Osmium is one of the metals I'd really go after. Palladium, yes. Platinum, yes. Praseodymium, yes. Samarium, yes. Those five are the five that I really do sort of target. If I see them, I want it. Silver, yes. Tantalum, no. In fact, these last few here, from tantalum down, no. But the fact that you can get, samarium, praseodymium, platinum, palladium, osmium, and gold, I mean, that's good enough. It gives you plenty of variety, and what more do you need? You can also say you get those from metallic or metal-rich ring systems. Now with the minerals, these all get a bit spread out, but some of them, such as lithium hydroxide here, methane clathrate, for what it's worth, those two are only found in icy rings. Some of these minerals really are just utterly fucking worthless. Uraninite, it's not even 1,000 per ton, for fuck's sake. So there's your void opals there, which they are only available in icy rings. Low temperature diamonds there, only available in icy. Cryolite, the name certainly suggests that it's only available in icy rings. But the rest are also spread out. You'll find some in metal rich, some in metallic, some in rocky. The most notable one is this one, painite. You'll find that in metallic, but you will not find it in metal rich. And even though the average there shows 71,596, which doesn't sound great, you will actually sell it for far more than that. So painite is certainly worth going after. Notice also quite a few other ones here. This serendibite, rhodplumsite, muscovite, monazite. These are all like quite high values. They are only found. Grundita right here is another one. I think Alexandrite here, yeah. Benitoite. They're all found in cores only. You're not going to find them using just your mining lasers. But obviously if you stumble across any of them, yeah, you want them. I think that is it. There's no more. None will come under salvage. Yeah. So there we are. That's what you want anyway. And where you get them, is in. Oh, fucking done it again. In ring systems. Now this is the planet we are going to. Planet 1, and we're going to the A ring, the metallic ring. So let's get underway. Oh, this ship is so fucking slow. After nearly a week of flying, like Viper Mark 4s and Imperial Couriers and Mambas, changing to this thing. Oh. I change my firing groups to surface scanner. Now, a surface scanner is not just used for scanning planet surfaces. You can also use it to scan ring systems when you encounter those. Now, I've already done it with this planet here, but I'll do it again just to demonstrate how it works. It is pretty straightforward though. So we need to get the planet in range, or more specifically we need to get the planet's ring systems in range. Fucking hell. Try pressing the right fucking key, you dickwad. Looks like, yeah, I even scanned the gas giant. Taking me scanning a gas giant's a fucking waste of time. It's still saying we're out of range, but I think we may be in range when it comes to scanning the ring systems, but I'm not going to take a chance. Now you can already see on the display there what you actually have appearing once you've scanned planet rings, but we'll do it again anyway. So you quite simply move the scanner until you see ring marked. Now remember, this planet has 2 ring systems, so you want to scan the innermost one. Obviously just wait for a ring to appear so you know you're definitely hitting the inner one. Fire the probe. Now it's not going to show it on here because I've already scanned it, but you would get like a display going around the ring there, and then it will tell you that it has scanned it. Then you want to go to the outer ring, so you just keep on moving until, there you go, you saw it disappear, you know, it flickers very briefly as you go from the A ring to the B ring. So then you would fire another one into the B ring. Again, you'll get the display going right the way around it, and it will map the whole thing, telling you, you know, that it has done so. When it's done that, you'll see these like highlighted areas here, hotspots, and they will appear on the navigation tab. So we have a painite hotspot, a rod plum site hotspot, monazite hotspot, alexandrite there. That is it. 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. Now we're going to the painite hotspot. Because although I'm going after one of 10, possibly even more than that, you know, items that I can mine, I will particularly be targeting painite because, yeah, that is pretty valuable. So I want to grab as much of that as I can. So you fly towards the hotspot. You don't get like a safe to disengage notification, so you just go right up close to it. You don't have to go right to the center of it. Anywhere within this highlighted area and you're within the hotspot location. You need to make sure you're going slow enough, because when you do drop out of Super Cruise, if you're going too fast you'll take hull damage. So we'll slow down. And there we are. Now you don't have to go to a hotspot. You can go anywhere in the ring system and just treat it exactly the same as that. So if you find a metallic ring system, but there are no hotspots that interest you, doesn't mean you can't go and mine there. Okay, now when you first arrive, more often than not, you'll find a load of ship signals turn up. Now I've been a bit lucky, they're all system authority vessels, so I'm not going to get any problems from those. Sometimes you will get pirates. Now if you do get a pirate, when they first show up, you've got nothing in your hold. So they'll scan you, see you've got nothing, and they'll just piss off. If, however, you log out of the game after you started mining and you've picked up some stuff, when you log back in again, you're quite likely going to get some more pirates because you're loading the instance again. Then they will scan you, they will then see you've got stuff in your cargo hold, and they will want some. So it's a good idea to take a ship where you can carry at least one decent weapon that you can defend yourself with, you know, and fight off would-be pirates, because believe me, you are going to be encountering them if you're doing any mining. Okay, that's my fag done with. Let's get a bit closer here. So we've deployed hard points, and we're now going to make use of the pulse wave scanner, and this is where the glitch that I mentioned is now going to become apparent. I have an A-rated pulse wave scanner, which means its range should be significant. But as you can see, I'm firing it, but I'm seeing absolutely nothing. And that's because at the moment its range is so balked that you have to be pretty much right on top of an asteroid of the type that the pulse wave scanner will pick up before it will actually do so. So yeah, it's currently completely fucked up. So at the moment it's a bit of guesswork. Now the pulse wave scanner doesn't tell you what an asteroid contains. All it will tell you is if there are enough like abrasions or anything like that that you can use some of your equipment, like your abrasion blaster, seismic charger or displacement missile. That's all it does. So it is handy, but it's not vital. So, seeing as this asteroid is right in front of us here, we'll see what this one has. This is where your Prospector limpets come into action. So, you fire a Prospector limpet at it. Okay, so he's on his way. We'll target him. We'll see what this one has. So, this asteroid has 25.92% bertrandite, which is worthless. In fact, I've got bertrandite on my lore list in here, so if I do mine any of it, my limpets don't bother with it. Has gold and it has praseodymium, but only in small quantities. 8.65% gold, 4.13% praseodymium. I don't think that is worth bothering with, so we'll leave that one. We'll go on to another one. This one is pretty close. Use the pulse wave again, just in case it comes into range. So the fact that the pulse wave scanner is revealing nothing about this asteroid tells me that yeah, there are no like abrasions or anything. So we'll fire the Prospector at this one. Because I've only got a class 1 Prospector controller. Oh, this is a good one. Yeah, because I've only got a class 1 prospective limpet controller, I can only have one active Prospector at a time. So if I fire another Prospector now, and it lands on, say, that asteroid there, this one that is currently active will be destroyed. I can only have one active at a time. Now this asteroid has samarium, gold and silver. I don't bother with silver, but samarium and gold I will certainly want. So let's, first of all, we'll start actually mining it. And you will see why I now consider collectors quite useful for mining. So we're getting close so that the mining laser is in range, and we'll blast away. If you keep a look on the readout there, you'll see minerals remaining, and it starts to drop as fragments break away. sure I've got enough power in the weapons to actually power these things. So continuing to break off, so samarium, gold and silver fragments. Now these are only fragments, so on their own they are worthless. You need to put them into the refinery, and then the refinery will turn them into an actual ton of whatever it is you're after. Right, so that's the asteroid depleted, so now we'll bring out 5 collector limpets, and they will now just go off, collect all of the fragments and bring them back to the ship. And they bring them into the refinery, which is here. Now as you can see, I've already you know, got various fragments. Would help if I deployed the cargo hatch. So yeah, I've already got my refinery full of some fragments from previous mining trips, and basically once the you know, fragments reach 100%, it gets refined into a ton of, well, I've got 1 ton of gold, 1 ton of samarium here already, and that's how it works. And this is why I think you need collector limpets, because if you don't have them and you decide you're going to pick them up manually, the only real way of doing it without getting the area completely flooded with fragments is to mine out one at a time and then pick them up in your ship through the cargo hold, the same way that you do with materials or cargo canisters, which takes a fucking age. And if you're in a ship like a Type 10, yeah, it does not take very long at all for it to seriously get on your tits. So we've just about got the last of those. Yep, there we go, that's the last of them. So from that asteroid we got 5 tons of samarium, 1 ton of gold. So go back to pulse wave scanner. Ah, at last some are now showing as active. So, well, this asteroid up close, okay, there is nothing showing on the pulse wave scanner, but we will still take a look at it anyway. See what it has.
Prospector limpet failed. Prospector limpet engaged.
Gallite I'm not interested in, but praseodymium I am. You'll also notice there where it says material content. You can get materials from asteroids as well, you know, as well as going around in your SRV getting them from planet services. I'll do a materials guide at some point. So, but yeah, sometimes you'll break away materials from these things. There are 3 materials, they're all raw materials, but 3 of them, rhenium, boron and lead, you can only get from mining asteroids here. So yeah, if you're after those 3, you've got to do it this way. So we got 1 ton of praseodymium refined. Now I've got yeah, there's 2 iron that have been broken away there. Now praseodymium is not on my ignore list, but you can see there gallite, the option there is to remove it from the ignore list. So yeah, gallite is being ignored, and yeah, so that means when my limpets pick up these fragments which contain both praseodymium and gallite, the gallite is just ignored. Nothing, you know, happens with it. It's only the praseodymium that's being refined. So, you know, so another one has just gone in. So that's 4 tons of praseodymium that we have. Now where did the, yeah, here we are. So we'll check this one first. Now the fact that, yeah, we got some colour there, tells us that there are going to be some sort of abrasions there. We just don't know if they are going to be surface abrasions or subsurface abrasions. I can be pretty sure they're not going to be core, you know, core fractures. But we're close enough. Let's get a Prospector fired at that. Now there is a way of telling, or at least giving you a good idea, if you are going to find an asteroid that has core material in it somewhere. This is mostly gallite. Right, so that is a subsurface, and it's gallite, which I don't care about, so I'm not going to bother going after it. This does have praseodymium and painite. Not a lot of painite, but I'll still grab it anyway, simply because it is painite. So we'll get in range, start mining this. So this one, yeah, 28.91% gallite, but it's going to ignore all of that. It's just going to take like 9.29% praseodymium, 6.68% painite, and that's all it's going to take. Material content is medium, so there's going to be a few materials that are broken away from it. One thing I also forgot to mention is that when you get your limpet controllers, obviously you do need to buy limpets, otherwise yeah, you're not going to get much use out of them. So yeah, always remember to stock up on limpets before you head out mining. I took 225 with me on this trip because my intention, as always, is to fill my cargo hold. 225 should be enough. My cargo capacity is 384. So we haven't got a ton of painite mined yet. We've got 28% of one. Don't think I'm going to get a ton from this one. Yeah, coming to the end of the use of this one. There's a rhenium material there. You don't see that very often, but yeah, that's one of the 3 that you can only get from asteroids. You can't get that on the planet's surface. Right, so I didn't get a ton of painite, but we are up to 51% of one. Take from me, that is not okay. That's shit. But you know, at least we're on our way to getting some. Right, so we'll go to this next asteroid here. Now, as I was saying, the colours give you a pretty good indication of how likely it is that there will be core seismic, or yeah, an actual like core substance within the asteroid. But it's not as simple as, oh, the brighter it is, the more likely it's going to be. It's the more bold a colour is, the more likely it's going to be. If we show it here, you can see there's a lot of like little squares. They almost look like a load of Tetris blocks pieced together. Now, if there was a core substance there, if I just fired a Prospector at it, then it wouldn't have so much of those small like blocks. It would be much more like actual solid colour, whether it's solid yellow or solid red. And there you go, totally contradicted what I said. I don't want bertrandite or gallite. The praseodymium I will take, but I will definitely take that core substance, the monazite. Let's see if there is anything. Right. And we also have a painite subsurface, so I get to show all of the additional mining tools on one asteroid. So yeah, so here we have a painite subsurface like fracture, and to extract it we need to use the displacement missile, which I have got armed here. So to use this, first of all you press fire to launch the missile, but you keep the fire button held down the whole time. So yeah, here we go. Right, keep it held down. You can see there it's deploying the drill, and you release the drill or release the fire button when it is over one of those blue sections. So that took out 25%. So obviously I can get 4 chunks of painite from here. And the chunks that you get from these, whether it be a subsurface fracture like this, a surface abrasion, or a core fragment, they're all much larger than the small fragments you get when using your mining laser. Right. So down 25%, so I can get 1 more from here. There we go. So that's 4 out of 4. That is that one exhausted. Now, there's no point in me using... Actually, I could do it, I suppose. The abrasion blaster has unlimited ammo, and all you simply do with this, get it lined up, fire away, and break it off. Simple as that. Now if, well, firstly I would have needed my collector limpets to still be active. They only have a relatively short lifespan. Right, so that one could go and pick up the 2 painite chunks that hadn't been brought back to the ship. And yeah, that indite chunk that I broke off there, it would now be going after that if I was going to pick them up, but I'm not picking them up. In fact, I've got them on ignore. So now we want to get to the Monazite Core here. I think monazite is one of the things I had been refining. I think I've got, yeah, right at the top there. So I have collected some of this before. So to do that, we've got to actually blast the asteroid apart. And to do that, we first of all look for asteroid fissures. Now I always look for low strength ones. Right, so I found a high and an average. And there's no guarantee there will be any low strength ones, but there's usually, yeah, more often than not, there's at least one. Yeah, there's one there. Right, so let's just quickly check that one. That was an average. That might be enough. Right, so even though this is a low strength asteroid fissure, I'm going to fire a seismic charge, but I will fire a high strength seismic charge. So you hold down the fire button, you'll see those 3 bars there that light up as that's in. We now have 117 seconds to place all charges. But yeah, you see those bars that light up across the bottom there. So obviously it starts off with a low. That's the first bar. If you want a medium, or if you want a low, you release it while it's in the first bar. If you want a medium, you release it while it's in the second bar. And if you want a high powered charge, you release it in the third bar. So right, let's. This is an average one. I want to have another high charge. That's gone in. You can see in the top right here, so we have like detonation time, still got plenty of time, and the detonation yield. The yield is still in the yellow. You want it in the blue. If it's in the red, it's too much, and it's just going to blast the asteroid apart too violently, and you're not going to get a lot from it. Right, let's go for this average. Another high one in there. There we go, and we got the message optimum yield range, and it's all in the blue, so that is pretty good. Now you can wait those 30 seconds, or you can select here, detonate now,
In 10 seconds.
and wait for the fireworks. There we go. Now ignore that message that says optimum yield range exceeded, yield forecast poor. It always says that. That's another glitch with the mining. In fact, it also showed we were getting 14 from this. That is fucking good. So now we are seeing a lot of these surface abrasion icons appear, because we've now broken the asteroid apart, but some of the core fragments are still attached to the asteroid fragments here, so now use the abrasion blaster to break them away. The abrasion blast has a range of 1 kilometre, so yeah, you've got to make sure you're close enough. There we go. Looks like it's out of range. Yes, it is. Don't worry about that refinery full message. My refinery constantly gets fooled up because I've got 10 of these like refining tray things here. 10's the most you can have, but they all have some fragments within them, so yeah, I get that thing about, oh, they're filled, you know, coming up quite a bit. They're not that full actually. So we already have 6 monazite. There's still more to be picked up, and I've got more chunks to break off. There we go, another one. Now unfortunately your limpets are, to put it mildly, fucking stupid, and they do have a habit of just flying straight into one of these asteroid fragments and destroying themselves. There's not a lot you can really do about it. You've got to just take the losses. I will do, just fly around here so I can go after these 2 here. Right, there you go. So now there's only one left that I need to break off. Yeah, that collector limpet didn't expire because its time ran out. It was one of the fucking stupid ones that just flew into an asteroid, or an asteroid fragment. Right, so that's that last one broken off. So 5 more monazite chunks to pick up. And that is all of your mining tools in operation. So you just repeat that ad infinitum until either you're so bored that you just say, that's it, I'm getting out of here, or you fill your cargo hold. So I got 18 monazite from that. Yeah, from that one asteroid. That is close to what? That's close to 4 million credits right there at galactic average. Not bad. So what I'll do, I'm going to continue mining, and I will continue to do so until I've either run out of what a surprise. I'll continue to do so until I've either run out of limpets or my cargo hold is full. So that's going to take a while, but yeah, once it's done, I'll be back with the next part of this video. Right, well, that is my mining done. Took me about 3 sessions because I can't mine 384 tons in one session. That's just that's too fucking much. So it's been a bit of a mixed bag actually. A few things that I thought I'd find plenty of, I actually didn't find that many of at all. But osmium 66 tons, that's not bad. Platinum 14, that's very low. I thought I'd find a lot more than that. Monazite 18, which you saw me get, and yeah, I didn't find any more, but then that's a core mineral. They are not that common, so you know, just getting 18 I think is doing pretty well. Gold, very low, 16. Praseodymium, 47. That's not bad. Not fantastic, but it's not bad. But Painite, 178. That is good. Yeah, I will definitely take that. Samarium, 24. That's pretty low. Palladium, 21. Again, pretty low. So, okay, I didn't do brilliantly on, you know, the Palladium, Samarium, Gold, or Platinum. But yeah, the amount of painite I got more than makes up for that. So now that you've mined, you know, an entire ship's hold full, or you've done enough mining that, you know, you are now sick of it and just want to do something else, what is the next step? Well, obviously that is to sell it. Now, before I do that, I do something which, let's be honest, is not an option for people if they are just starting out in the game, which is to drop some of it off at my carrier, because when I go mining, my intention is always to take it to my carrier and then sell most, if not all of it, from the carrier. But this time I'm going to make one exception. That painite, the quantity that I have is so good, I'm going to see if I can sell that at a station. In fact, I already know which station I'm going to. So we'll sort that out when it comes to yeah, when it comes to it. So between now and docking at said station where you're going to be selling all of your mined goods, you are open to interdiction, and if you are relatively new to the game and therefore your combat rating is fairly low, Yeah, you are really going to attract the attention of every pirate in the fucking area. There we go, straight away I got one. Besson Morgan Crite Mark II. Now I'm in I'm in a Type 10. Manoeuvrability is not its strong point. I would not discount my chances against a Crite Mark II though. Let's see if it does interdict me before I make it back to the carrier. Yep, it did. In this thing, I suspect I'm going to have to do the old reversing trick. This thing has plenty of fucking burst lasers. Looks like that's all it's got though. So, dual class 3 beams, dual class 3 cannons on this thing, and doesn't seem to be doing too bad. Unfortunately, the cannons fire at such an acute angle, and because they have forced shell, they fire relatively slow. Yeah. Accuracy with the cannons is not great. Hopefully I'll get this combo before he decides to run. Nice little beast to finally find. Get nowhere near. Oh, there we go. 185,000 for him. Yeah, I don't destroy many Crite Mark IIs, largely because I don't get the chance, so I'm not sure what materials they drop. Well, if you're a newcomer, those materials will all be quite handy, but yeah, I'm maxed out on all of them. Alright, after that little diversion, let's carry on back to the carrier then. Now that is why you really need to take a ship with you if you're going mining that has the ability to fight back. So you want decent shields to be able to withstand you know, the enemy ship firing on you, and you need some spare hard points after all of your mining equipment has been put on, so that you can then fight back against said enemies. So I would say that the best mining ship for an all-rounder, you know, if you're still gathering your fleet together, or you're still only using the one ship, yep, it's the Anaconda again. That is definitely the one to go with.
Directly to your landing pad.
Right, see if we can get this fucking thing down. Always amazes me just how painfully fucking slow this ship is. I don't know how Gigabyte 76 is able to stomach using it as his AX ship. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the Type 10, but the alternative was to use a Type 9. The Type 9 has more cargo capacity. And back when I was putting my mining ship together, I didn't have the fleet carrier, because they weren't in the game. So the option of doing what I am going to do here wasn't available to me. Right, so we've restocked, refueled.
We've got you safe and sound. Welcome
Now,
to the area, Commander.
as I've already shown, I've got 384 tons of, you know, cargo capacity, and that is full. But in fact, I actually have 385, because you'll notice there, the osmium that's right there, that's at 100%. And as soon as I move, let's move my platinum to the carrier and confirm that. There you go, that extra ton of osmium has now been refined, so I now have 67 of those. So now we can, I know it looks like it would be quicker if I just clicked transfer all to carrier, but if I did that, I've then got to transfer the 179 tons of painite all back to my ship again, which I can't be asked to do, so I'll just do it this way. Okay, so that's everything bar the painite. I had that 1 ton of painite already. So that is confirmed. And if we go to the commodities board, yeah, you'll see that's all listed, all up for sale. Now my prices on all of these metals that I've just mined is lower than just about any docking station or any fleet carrier you care to mention. So basically, if you buy any of these metals from me, you are pretty much guaranteed to make a profit on them yourself. So why do I sell them so low? Firstly, because I can. I am not desperate for credits, but also it means that more people are aware of my carrier being, you know, existing, and therefore the chances of then selling me void opals, you know, increases. And that's what I want, you know, people to be aware of the carrier, and to you know, perhaps flog me some void opals that they've got. So now I have 179 tons of painite. But as I've just shown, this ship is painfully slow, and even though, you know, it's more than okay in combat, it's not brilliant. So let's jump into the Imperial Cutter, the Karl Marx, my flagship cutter. Now, of course, this has plenty of cargo space, so that 179 tons of painite has now been transferred to this ship. And voila. And now I have more firepower, more shields and more armour if any ship decides to try and interdict me while I'm en route to taking these void opals, this painite to be sold. Before I do that, let me just check. Right, my carrier balance has gone down. Looks like somebody may have sold me a few things. So I like to keep my budget at 5 billion, so I will transfer 32.4 million. There we go. Right, so carrier balance 5 billion, 5,139. So my current balance then, not carrier balance, my own balance is 8,426.5 million. Right, let's see what we can do about that. So we are going to go to LFT 1300. Not exactly local, but we can get there just fine. And this station, Vershav Dock, is currently buying in painite at around 790,000 per tonne. But that's providing you bring, I think it has to be less than, I think it's 547. It's 500 and something anyway. Well, I've got way less than that. So yeah, I should be fine. Right, so how many jumps is it? 6. Now I'm not sure how up to date this info is. So yeah, we'll hope for the best. So what I'll do, I'll do a jump cut here, and we'll be back as we are approaching that docking station and see how we do.
Clamp release confirmed. Departure confirmed.
Okay, we're on the last leg of this trip then. We're in Lightning's 5/10 1300, and we are approaching the docking station. This is where I find out that the info I'm going on is out of date, and that happens. And also that they're not buying in these void opals for anything like what I'm hoping for. Clearly I've been to this one system with this lot, with the Wolf Society run. I mean, that's clearly a player faction, but well, compared to some names it's okay. I mean, it's not 51st Death Dealers. Fucking load of shit that is. And of course Hank's Alliance from Anti-Xeno, who I think has gone the way of the dodo anyway. What a fucking shame. Anyway, let's try to derailing this guide a bit. Fuck off. Pad 9 is fairly near the front. Never gives me one like, you know, 25.
Landing gear deployed.
Right, and we are down. Don't know why I keep clicking on refuel. I've got a fuel scoop, I don't need to refuel. Anyway, let's get the old advanced maintenance done. I've also got some universal cartographic data, not a lot. 9,530. Right, on to the important stuff then. Are they still buying painite in at a decent price? Yes, they are. 792,000 per tonne. I have 179. So I will be making 141,783,752, and that is entirely
Incoming message.
profit. There we are. Now, okay, it's a bit of an extreme example, because if you're new to the game, there's a very good chance, right, you're not going to have 384 ton capacity. But the bottom line is this. I mean, that is what you're doing when it comes to mining. And if you ignore this fucking bullshit about, you know, you have to go mining for void opals or you have to go mining for low temperature diamonds. It's actually a lot more, you know, tolerable than it would otherwise be. If you're going after low temperature diamonds or void opals, that is almost certainly going to be the only thing that's worth getting. You'll be in a hot spot for either of those two things. Void opals can only be obtained by core mining, so there's no point having a mining laser. You just need subsurface, you need seismic charges, and you need an abrasion blaster. And you need the fucking patience of a saint, because, that core that you saw me find when I got the Monazite or whatever it was, that was one of only 2 cores I found in that entire mining trip, and I mined 384 tons, 385. Low temperature diamonds are not only a core thing. You can find them in like any sort of you can get them with mining lasers, subsurface displacement missiles, and you find them as a core mineral. But they are always in very low quantities, except for if you find them as a core. So you're going to be spending a long fucking time wandering through this icy ring system, finding absolutely fuck all for 90% of the time, and it is staggeringly boring. But if you decide, right, okay, we'll go after metals, we'll go after what I mined, so gold, osmium, palladium, platinum, praseodymium, samarium, and painite. So you've got 7 now. If you find any core stuff, you know that core materials is going to be worth a lot. So, that's always a welcome bonus. And that way there are at least 7 different metals or minerals that are worth getting. And alright, you're not going to be taking them to your carrier and storing them there and selling them on from there, but you can just take them with you along with the painite to a station like this. And by the way, I'm not saying that these prices are going to remain. This sort of really high painite price, it's only temporary, so you need to look and find which systems are selling or buying in painite at these sort of these sort of prices. Bring everything else here, just sell it all here, you'll make plenty. And if you have, like I say, what I consider the best all-rounder ship, which you can then temporarily use for mining, if you just keep a mining laser, an abrasion blaster, subsurface missile, and seismic charge launcher, and the refinery, and your limpet controllers, and just store them all in the station of the system you're going to go to, and then just temporarily fit them on, go mining, grab whatever you can, go back to the station, dump all of the mining stuff because you don't need that anymore, fit your all your weapons back on and everything else, and then you stand much more of a chance if you're going to be interdicted, which, like I say, you will be. Then take that to wherever it is you're going, and if you are in either of those ships, either a Python or an Anaconda, you will almost certainly have at least 100 tons of cargo capacity. So you're looking at making about 80 million just in mining. Now, okay, it's not as much as if you were going purely after low temperature diamonds or purely after void opals. The difference is you're not bored into a coma, and you could probably make as much this way as you could from going purely after void opals and low temperature diamonds, because in the time it takes you to fill your hold going after either of those two things, you can probably do about 3 or 4 of these mining trips, and bosh, you've made plenty. So yeah, I do think mining is worth doing, but forget about low temperature diamonds, forget about void opals. Go after metallic stuff, go after painite, and yeah, you'll make a decent amount. So if you go in a Python, you're looking at, there's no reason why you shouldn't make at least 80 million if you fill your cargo hold. So there you go, a quick mining guide. Well, I say quick, it probably hasn't been that quick at all, but a mining guide nevertheless. And yeah, so that is this video done. Yeah, if there's anything else that you particularly want to see a guide to, yeah, let us know in the comments, and who knows, I might actually, cover it. Wouldn't that be amazing? Right, that is this video done, so now go away.